that are very heavily, involved with decision making with that team. But I'm going to think of that. Could be. Or it could be allergies.
So Topper, let's talk about him. So you have
a literal laundry list.
A laundry list. So again, game one. Let's get this one out of the way first. He didn't do anything wrong.
If you're blaming Topper for anything, I literally on Saturday night I just had to say, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard to people. And I try to do it with a funny meme or something.
Yeah.
To be like, let's not be too serious. Let's not be angry. Let's say, I got angry people on Monday morning about sunglasses. It's like, just try to have some fun.
Yeah.
Topper, if you're blaming Topper for anything that happened in game one, to me, you're a fool. I fully understand why he went and he did what he did with his bullpen. And if you think that he should have stayed in after 111 pitches, I'm just going to tell you you're foolish.
Yeah, he pulls him after 111 pitches, and then.
And by the way, he wasn't that sharp at 111.
Right.
He wasted. He talked about this that too. The pitch efficiency was not the normal pitch efficiency for him. 7 innings.
Well, especially when the pitch count's getting into the 90s.
I think it was one of it for games that he went 7. I think it was his highest pitch count.
That was the longest. Well, and the 7th inning was the longest inning.
He was
pitch count wise.
He was having a little bit of a problem. He's getting behind people and everything like that. And guess what? It was a beautiful performance.
We don't even have to say he was losing it. He was at 111 pitches.
Correct.
Of course, you're going to pull him.
But his velocity was still pretty good.
Right. And then you go to one of your most reliable relievers all season long.
Who's been your 8th inning guy?
And he can't record an out. And then you bring in the all-star in Matt Strahm, and he records 1 out. And then you bring in Kerkering, who gives up a couple of sac flies. Like, what Rob Thomson did.
I don't have any issue with Kerkering from Saturday.
No, there's no issues with anybody from Saturday.
I don't really have an issue with Kerkering
Rob Thompson-wise. Now, yesterday's game. So what's your laundry list of issues with Topper?
Okay, it's a literal laundry list. And I'll be interested to see if you disagree with any of them.
Let's go in order, and we'll discuss each one. How many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Number 1, the handling of Alec Boehm yesterday. I was absolutely fine. Absolutely fine with them starting Sosa. I can tell you this from being at the building yesterday and being around batting practice and stuff. It was a benching. Anyone who tries to say to you it was just about whatever, it was a benching for his childish behavior on Saturday.
Is that what you think it is?
Yes, absolutely, because it was addressed last year in the NLCS. It was addressed earlier this season with him pulling a temper tantrum, and his behavior Saturday, I believe that Topper used his language to explain it to us. I want him in there for energy.
Yeah.
He's a positive guy. He goes, Boehm can drag down the room. He can be Debbie Downer when he's having his little temper tantrums because he's not handling the pressure well.
We saw that game. Remember when the Phillies, the bats finally came back to life? I think it was in August, where they scored 10 runs.
Right.
But
it was the Royals game.
But Boehm was not doing anything, and Harper had to literally
and he'd shoot him out.
Console him on the
but Rob took him up and gave him a little bit of a talking to in that thing about that crap. That can't happen.
So Boehm,
your performance. But here's the thing. It's the Boehm handling. I had no problem with him being benched yesterday, and he was benched. But then you let him pinch hit for Sosa, and then you bring him in, and he does the same crap. It's not, we're going to punish you. You know what he is? Rob Thompson did to Alec Boehm. I'm going to send a message to you, dude. But you know what? You're grounded for the whole week. Okay, Dad. And then it's Saturday night, and you want to go out with your friends, and he goes, okay, I think you learned your lesson. You get out there, buddy. Totally mismanaged. That was horrendous. And Boehm was just as horrendous yesterday at the plate. 3 pitches and 2 at-bats in 2 critical at-bats.
Well, the first at-bat was horrible.
After you almost get a walk right in front of him. It was terrible. Real
quick, because that's a big decision to sit an all-star starter at third base in Game 2 of a postseason.
Huge decision.
I hated it because it's very anti-Rob Thompson. It's very out of character for the way that he's managed his team over the 2.5 years that he's been the manager. Right or wrong, whether you agree with it, I'd rather, and I get why he did it.
He's been talked to about his behavior over and over.
I understand that. But Rob Thomson has been a guy that, despite performance or despite issues like
this guy,
exactly. And now, one game into this postseason run, I don't know if that's
it's an accumulation.
Hey, one game in which you lost,
Yeah,
and a 5-game
It's an accumulation of behavior that he's not listening.
By the way,
No,
he was
you.
also ice cold.
He's terrible.
2 for his last 23,
He's killing
now
you.
2 for his last 25 with those 2 at bats.
It's not so much a Bohm thing. It's last year, he put Alec Bohm in the cleanup spot over and over and over again when he was offering Bryce Harper no protection, and he stuck with that until the season ended. And this year, one game in, he makes a change. Now,
because it's not why he's take him out. It was the behavior on Saturday. It was the behavior in Kansas City. It was the behavior before. The temper tantrums in the NLCS last year. They're tired of it. They're tired of a 28-year-old conducting himself like a 10-year-old. Having temper tantrums in the dugout, having to be consoled by teammates. And I guarantee you, you won't get it on record. There are teammates who probably are like, dude, are you serious? This is the biggest games of the year. Grow the hell up. We need you to be your
It's
best.
not like this is his first time there.
Grow the
at
hell
this
up.
point.
This is an accumulation of things. It's not one game. But wait a minute, let me get on because I want to drag these.
Yes.
The removal of Sanchez yesterday at 88 pitches. Ridiculous.
I didn't have a problem.
I had no issue.
Rob Thomson before the game. His own words.
Okay.
So, Rob, how you feeling about it? He goes, I want to run him 100, 105.
Okay.
His exact words.
And then the game
There was
plays
no
out.
reason at 88 pitches. He was not laboring. His velocity wasn't off. And he was pitching a damn well good game. I don't even think the home run was a bad pitch. He was pitching a fine game. You put him in there. For Ruiz, the third decision. For Ruiz, so you make one decision. You take a guy out 17 pitches before you say what his max was. To put in Ruiz?
Yeah, I didn't love Ruiz there,
That's
but
ridiculous.
You cannot, John, you cannot look at what the manager says before the game
Yeah.
as far as pitch count and then say he didn't
Well,
stick
what was
to
the
it.
reasoning then at 88?
He felt like Christopher Sanchez was done. Whether it was right or wrong, the fact that I could tell you anything before a game, and stuff changes over
Okay,
the
but
5
what-
innings
what-
the guy
what was-
throws.
what did- then what
if you
did
think
he-
about it, he had the third inning. He settles down the fourth, but then in the fifth inning, he walks Vientos, and then Harper makes that ridiculous diving catch
It's a great
against
catch.
Nimmo. If he doesn't make that play, who knows how that inning goes? He didn't want to go lefty-righty with Alonso. Now, of course, it completely bit him in the rear end because Alonso ends up hitting a home run. But he probably thought.
And by the way, he had a guy who had owned Alonso. He made Alonso look bad both at bats.
Yeah, both
So
at bats.
Ruiz is your choice.
But I will say this.
That doesn't make sense.
There is a scary thing to the third time through the order, and you might roll your eyes.
I
but
do.
What happened to Luis Severino yesterday? Third time through the order, Harper hits the home run. Nick Castellanos goes back-to-back.
Then-
There is statistically something to the third time through the order.
Ruiz can't be your answer then.
That's fair.
And he
If
was
you're-
not laboring.
I'm not going to
And
disagree with you
and
there.
Sanchez was not laboring.
Yeah,
And
but
he
dude,
wasn't laboring.
Sanchez had one career postseason inning before this, and I know what Rob Thomson said about the pitch count, but there's a feel you get with a young player sometimes where
okay.
you say, okay, I'd like to go to someone, and that's why the Ruiz argument is fair.
Okay, then we go to the fourth.
And oh, by the way, there may also be a chance that he says that, so Sanchez feels like, all right, I got time.
Yeah,
Like-
remember, they didn't tell Ranger that they were
That
doing
they're
the 3
pulling him
inning
after
thing.
3 innings. Because if you tell him, hey, you're only going 3 innings, he's going to do anything. He's not going to pitch the way he normally would. So I wonder that could have been a message to make Christopher Sanchez feel comfortable. So if I'll agree with you, Ruiz
Okay.
maybe not in that spot.
Well, no,
but
Ruiz
I
should never be in that
But
spot.
I was totally fine with him getting pulled after 5.
All right, here you talk about feel. Number 4. Estevez comes in and dominates. He throws 8 pitches. He had pitched multiple innings before for this team. Why the hell are you taking him out after 8 pitches? To go back to guys who had literally lit the gasoline the day before. What are you doing? Except trying to go, I'm going to make my guys feel better. Estevez was dominant.
Not against you on that one.
He had 8 pitches. He's been off for a week. What are you doing? Why are you not going back to him? And you've gone to him for multiple innings. You know he's comfortable multiple innings. What are you doing there? Why would you go? Because you're trying to make guys who failed you the day before